much going on. Logging in because I gotta do some stuff on Genshin. It's gonna take me a few hours, so might as well log in and play a little bit. Probably won't be on tomorrow though. Did a lot of stuff this week, so yeah. Did most of my errands and chores this week. Tomorrow, my friend's coming over to finish my roof, and then Friday I need to go out to book off and pawn off some stuff, and then next Friday I gotta go donate blood, and then next Saturday I gotta get together. So, got stuff to do. Like probably next week I'm gonna start doing my taxes. Also gotta do the bathroom this Friday too. Gotta clean it. I still gotta figure out what I'm gonna play on the weekend because I got nothing right now. I don't know what. We gotta figure out something. I wish I could like stream anime, but you can't do that with Twitch or YouTube. You get in trouble. Shut down your channel. Hmm. Not really much going on. Okay. Just gonna get my stuff done. Shop reset. Shop organs. Rotations. Gotta do the bosses. The bosses right now. I'm using my resin.
Shadows of Oz revealed by... Let me scroll. By royal decree. Fire hazard. Oh, fizzle out. Let's dance. Delve into time room. I'll protect us. Let me scry. Oz reveal.
This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Well then, amuse me. Surrender is a valid option. I promise I'll be gentle. You've made some progress. Not bad. You've got a trick. do is run. No use hiding back there.
Delves into death. Odds reveal. Time for a light show. By royal the fuse is lit. Let the show begin. Let me scribe.
As you wish, main Fräulein.
Fire hazard.
You were cut above.
You dare overstep your mortal authority?
Odds revealed by fuse is lit. That didn't count.
Crumble!
Oh no! Let's dance. Let me scribe. Delves into death by royal decree. Time for a light show.
The enraged Earth will not
Here comes the
absolve
fireworks.
you!
I'll protect us. Huh. Huh.
Today, you witness your reckoning!
Fire hazard.
There is no atonement
Midnight
for a
and
1,000-year reign!
Oh no! Yeah. Ink. Yeah.
You stand upon your tomb, though you know it not! Come, experience
Let
an
me scribe.
eon of
Odds
suffering!
reveal thyself. Let the show begin. Shadows of fate. By royal time for a light show.
Back to the Earth!
That didn't count. Burned too brightly. By royal decree. Oh, that hurt.
I will not be destroyed.
What's up, Michael? How you doing? What's up with you? How you doing? I'm not sure if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me? I'm doing alright, just usual shit, you know? Nothing major. Same old stuff, just playing Genshin. That's all I've been doing. I haven't really been doing too much else. It's been kind of boring. Yeah, a lot of people are playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. A lot of people. It's probably the most popular game right now.
You're trembling.
Well, it's
Is
free
it
to
with
play,
hope
so I mean,
or just
I'm not
cowardice.
surprised. You're into deck building games.
Fuse is lit.
Yeah. Detestable.
Let's dance. Let me scry. Odds revealed by time for a light show. Wings of darkness, come, sever night from day. Fuse is lit.
No, I'm okay. I got this. I solo these. I solo these all. I solo the bosses every week. I'm used to it.
Shadows of by royal decree. Fire hazard. Put the ship down. Fate is upon you. Let me scry. Delve into destiny.
Not every wound will heal.
Odds repeat. Fuse is lit.
Come, put up a fight.
Shadows of fate.
As you wish, main Fräulein.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'll protect us. Yeah. Let me scry.
dares. Call me a witch.
Written in the stars.
Not every wound will heal.
Yeah. Oh. Go, Barbara, go! Yeah. By royal fire hazard.
I never asked for redemption. Never.
Nothing. Eh. Drops again. All bad drops. Boom. Boom. Oh, it happens. Last week I got good drops. This week I got bad drops. Alright, so I just need 740 points. Just gotta do, I'll just do these. Yeah, not much else, Michael. Same old shit. Really nothing new to talk about. I'm just waiting for the month of March to come around.
Oz revealed by...
Game show it off Thursday. So I stay and watch that afterwards. Get some free primo gems.
Another test.
Delve into death. Shadow Raven. Let night fall. Time for a light show. That didn't count. Fate is upon you. Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Wrong test subject.
Yeah, things probably won't spice up on this channel until March when I got actually stuff to play. Next game coming out is until like the middle of March for me. I know King of Fighters is coming out. I don't really care to get it. I just watch people play it. It's not the game for me.
Shadows of fate. Fire hazard. Oh, fizzled out.
So get hit by. That was funny.
Let me scrap.
As you wish, main foot.
Oh,
You
He's already spawned, he killed me. Sure. Doria. Saying Doria. You gonna be playing King of Fighters, Michael? That's cool. I hope you have fun. Like I said, I'll probably just watch my friends play it. I'm not gonna play it. I mean, I could easily afford it. It's more of an issue. I just don't have any interest in playing. I mean, it's definitely better than KOA 14. But it just I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it's fresh enough. But I respect it. We only got 4 games to play. I got nothing at the moment. For fighting games, I got nothing, man. I gave up on Strive, like, day 3. I tried out biking. I was very disappointed. And then I played Melty Blood for a bit, and Melty Blood started having its problems, and I was like, man, Melty Blood could have been so much better if they didn't fix any of the problems with the game. So I'm kind of like, I'm just done with it. I don't want to play it anymore. It sucks, man. Yeah, Blaze Blue. I know the patch for the official rollback happened yesterday. A lot of people are happy about that, which is cool. It's good that that game's getting patched.
Add Astra. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward. Add Astra.
I'm just waiting for games to play. That's it for me. It's just, like I said, the next fighting game I want to play is Persona, which comes out in March, middle of March. So I got about 6 weeks to wait. Gotta do that stuff. I just watch Fake Cross for Neko Arc. Yeah, Neko Arc Chaos will be in the game eventually. It's gonna happen. It's for sure. I promise you that she will definitely be in the game over time. The next 2 characters I think are coming in April, by the way. By the middle of April. That's probably gonna be, they'll probably reveal them in March. Probably towards the end of March.
Animal test 63. Shadows of fate. With sword comes shadow. Let the show begin. Absorption test. Enhanced animal. Incoming. Hey. Let me scribe. Written in the stars. Speed of light.
We'll see when that happens when they reveal it in April. It's probably just going to be the last two characters, and they're just going to say, hey, we're going to make some minor changes to the gameplay, and like it's going to be like super minor. I don't think they're going to change anything great when the update hits. I really don't. I think they're just going to make the new characters, and they'll be like, we're done. We're not changing it. So that's my prediction. I have a feeling they're not going to change any of the gameplay. They're literally just going to keep it the same. I think that's going to do the game in, unfortunately. I think at that point the game's pretty much, people are going to just jump ship. A lot of people are not happy with the game. I know a lot of people in the forums are just, they're displaying their dissatisfaction with the game. I read the posts, and a lot of people are not. One guy said it best, is like, a lot of people just choose to put up with it, but they don't like it. I'm like, that's kind of sad, you know? It's like, you play a game because you like the series, but you play it because, even though you kind of have to play it. It kind of sucks.
I will have order. Solidify. Crumble.
Why this? You have a question? Why the hell same one buy skin 5-star? Why are you saying why did people buy the 5-star skin? Is that what you're asking? You mean for Kaching? I mean the new one that came out? Personally, I don't buy costumes. I'll get them if they're free. Free's okay, but I ain't gonna pay money for it. Free is like the only price tag. Yeah, I won't buy that shit. That shit's dumb. No, thank you. Free only. They only give you free 4-star costumes, which is fine. Shit, it's just it's a bonus. You know, they give the one for Ning Wong free, which is nice. You know, the Kaching one is like, it looks nice, but I ain't gonna spend fucking like $20 for it. Screw that. It's just dumb. Free's okay, I can justify free. It just takes time to do.
Let me scry. Shadow Raven. What? Let the show. Delve into destiny.
Yeah. Free's always good. Nothing wrong with free. I like free. I like to not pay money at all. I can not play. If I don't have to pay any money to play the game, that's even better. Which I'm doing right now. I have not spent any money on this game at all. I've been avoiding spending money altogether on this game. No money. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna probably get it either today or later in the week for sure. I'll get Ning Wong's skin. I have to just do the event. It's not hard to get, and then you get a free 4-star too. You get a choice of 8, one of 8 free 4-stars, which is really nice.
Shadows of fate. Time for a light show. Let me scribe.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Fire hazard.
Stop buying the battle pass and the Vulcan Moon. I don't do that anymore. There's no reason for me to. I don't. I think I'm over that phase. I think I won't ever do it again. Something have to be crazy, game breaking, like for me to spend money on the game like that. Granted, it's not very much money, but I don't need to spend money.
Shadows of by royal decree. The fuse is lit.
No rest for the wicked.
Delved into destiny. Odds reveal.
What kind of mask should I make now?
Okay. You're done. Done. Set. I'll do it later in the week. Alright, let's spend my 7 pulls. See if we get anything. Pink or yeah, 5-star? Yes, please. Yeah, I gotta wait before my pity hits. It's pink. What did I get? Okay, Here's what my next 5 star is gonna be for this banner. I got a weapon, a character. I think I got a character. No, I got a weapon last time. But more likely it's gonna be a character. I don't think I'm anywhere near. I think I got 20 or 30 pulls I gotta get to. Pity. That's it for that. It's the event. Let's see if I can do anything. I think I already finished this. Zhongli. I have Zhongli already. I got him a long time. I got him when it first came out. It's like the only male character I wanted in this game. Currently, you can just start. Okay, can't. What's up, Samurai? How you doing? What's going on with you? What you up to? You gotta take care of business.
Up and away.
I actually cut my own hair. Look. Hmm? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? So weird. What is this? Huh. Supposed to be like a... Oh, it's supposed to be something. Okay, it says it's supposed to be like that. So listen. Is it supposed to be like that? At it. Oh, it's antlers. Oh, it's a moose. Oh, it's a moose or a deer. Oh, it's kind of difficult. Is that a mistletoe? D parts? Oh man. It's a crane? So yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. I was focusing. Okay, I'm done. That's cool. Yeah, I think almost everybody in my channel agrees that Strive is inferior to Xrd. I think everybody I know says the same thing. Nobody disagrees with you guys, believe me. They all think the same thing. Okay, I gotta open that quest up. Yeah, I'm gonna do the. How many days do I have left on this event? I got 9 days. I got plenty of time. I'm gonna do the rest of the event probably on the weekend. I don't have a rush to do it, so I got plenty of time. The biggest graveyard in the world. That's done. So yeah, yeah, I'm already done with this. So I don't have to do this anymore. So I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably on the weekend I'll do the event. Saturday, I'll get it all done since I'll have a lot of time then. And done with this today. Done with Genshin. Yeah, I got to rank 58 a couple days ago too. I'm done with that too. Yeah, that's all. Wasn't gonna do much today. Like I said, I'll do the rest on Friday. Need something to do, so I might as well save it for the weekend. So I have lots to do. Yeah, I saw the King of Fighters stuff. I'll be honest, I'm not particularly thrilled because I don't like the fact that SNK is being greedy. SNK is being really greedy right now. Like, I think the fact that they're so I do feel that so yeah, this is one of those. Can you open Strive for P4A? Can I open Strive for what? For Persona 4 Arena? A lot of people are firing on me because of my Strive post. Like, no, like you know, it's like no, you just the majority think you're wrong. I'm like, no, they don't. No, they don't. You can deny it all you want. The majority thinks Strive is perfect. Majority thinks Strive is the best Guilty Gear, and I'm like, nope, that is complete bullshit lie. Anybody that sits there and says that's bullshit is honestly full of crack. They're smoking crack. Um, I really hate the fact that people defend Strive like it's the perfect fighting game. I really get sick of that shit. There's so many like people that protect Strive and like, no, Strive is perfect. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. You need to stop hating on it. I'm like, dude, I can give you reasons why it's not good. And then they try to, oh, this is the most faithful Guilty Gear we've had ever. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? These people, man, like, and then they start calling people like me purists. So I'm like, dude, I'm not a purist. If I was a purist, I fucking wouldn't have liked Exerd. That's the truth. If I was a purist, I would have only liked XX. I would only like XX Accent Core Plus. That's all I would like. I wouldn't like anything else. So that's a load of shit. To sit there and call me a purist. And I consider Exerd probably the best feeling Guilty Gear of all the Guilty Gears. In terms of movement and just overall speed. And then there's other people like, no, Exerd was the bastard child of the series. I'm like, what? I was like, wow. Yeah. Yeah, it's mostly if you read these people's comments, it's like what? It's like no, Guilty Gear Strive is the most mechanically sound. It's I said no, you just like it because it's fucking easier to play. That's why you like it. You like it because they took all the quote unquote bloated mechanics and dumbed it down so you could understand it. That's the truth. Yeah, Guilty Gear plus Accent, yeah, plus yeah, Guilty Gear Accent Core plus R. That is, I think, the pinnacle of the series in terms of depth. Definitely, that game is super super in depth game. Exerd is probably the second. Exerd Rev 2, and then third would be probably Strive, and then fourth would be the first one. Yeah, I'm not counting the offshoot games because the offshoot games are basically an extension of XX. But yeah, I would sit there and say, out of all the newer ones, yeah, Strive by far is the most simplified, the least mechanically sound. You know, I think Strive is definitely strays too much from the formula. Strive strays way too much from Guilty Gear. Like in terms of how it's played, in terms of the depth, in terms of the way it moves, the way it feels, the options. It's the least like Guilty Gear. People can say all they want and say no, it's the most in depth. I mean, I hear some of the most bullshit statements that people say, and it's like, what? Like I feel like telling these people, like, dude, did you play the series? Have you played every game? Like, can you honestly sit there and tell me that this game is the most closest thing to Guilty Gear? I'm like, what? And then you get these tournament players that defend it too, and I personally think they're full of shit, but that's just me. Oh, I think it's definitely because it's easier. They love it because it's easy. It's easy to understand. That's why they think it's better because it's easy to understand. It's like well, some of us don't want an easy game. Some of us want something a little deeper. So sorry, you know what I mean? It's like don't get mad at me because I want something deeper. You know, and they try to like. I mean, you see these people's comments, and it's like, of course, they like a lot of people attack me. Like a lot of people, I'd say the majority of them attack me. See, they think, oh well, Yeah, Potemkin's like boring as shit. Potemkin got so boring in that game. Yeah. God, he's such a boring character. I used to like him a lot more. He was fun in Exurb. I liked him a lot in Exurb, but man, he got boring in fucking Strive. I was like, God damn, this fucking character is boring as shit. And I just don't like the way things feel in the game. The games don't feel right. They feel sluggish. It feels too grounded. I don't like how the gravity, I think, is too harsh. The combo system just feels weird. I don't like the Gatlings. You ain't Dib. You ain't Dib if you ain't Dib. Yeah, but you try to explain it to these people, they just look at you like you're just dumb. Like you don't know anything about the series. You don't know shit about Guilty Gear. I'm like, fuck you. Like holy shit, fuck you for that statement. Anybody that sits there and tells me I don't know shit about Guilty Gear seriously needs to fuck off. Like that's like one of the pros said that, like one of the pro players said, you don't know how to play Guilty Gear at all, do you? You don't know anything about it, do you? I'm like, I was like, what? I was like, you're telling me? You're telling me that I don't know anything about Guilty Gear? Holy shit, you need to fuck off. You need to seriously fuck off. I know a lot more than you do, buddy. A lot more than you think I know. But, they a lot of times translate, people like me, because I'm not a tournament player, because I'm not a known presence, that I have no valid opinion. And it's like, no, dude. I could perfectly explain myself many reasons why the game doesn't feel like Guilty Gear. And I would list it out. And I would, but also it is subjective. Obviously it's my opinion. It doesn't mean it's fact. But ultimately I don't like the way it feels. I just don't. I really don't. I like XX. I like the way XX feels. I like the way X feels. I like Exert, how it felt. But this game, by far, felt the most detached from the Guilty Gear license. By far. Compared to every other game. The only game I don't really put a comparison towards is the first one, because that game was just the first game. I mean, it's like Street Fighter 1. Street Fighter 1 was awful. But we don't say, oh well, that's the foundation. We don't say that's the game that Street Fighter should be based around. Like, oh, it should play like Street Fighter 1, because that's the OG. Well, the OG sucked. Just like Guilty Gear 1 is not very good. You don't see many people play Guilty Gear 1 because it's not good. It's like a prototype. Guilty Gear X is when Guilty Gear became Guilty Gear. I think X is when the foundation was really molding, and then XX tuned it up a notch, and then with all the iterations they kept tuning it up. But X, I think, is when the game started to become Guilty Gear, and then it's let's see, XX Sharp, Sharp XX Reload, XX Accent Core, Slash, all those games, Accent Core Plus, those just added to the XX form and made it even, kind of like fine wine. And then Xrd kind of went its own little way, it didn't depart too bad, but it departed a little bit, but I don't think it went to like it didn't go somewhere where it's like, what the fuck is this? Where Strive did that. Strive went in a completely weird direction where it's just like, okay, I don't like the way this direction went at all. So the other games, I actually liked them, and I actually liked them for different reasons, I don't like Guilty Gear 1. I don't think, many people don't. Many people just, played it because it was the first of its kind, It's like the first type of anime fighter. I get it. It's like one of the grandfathers. But most people don't play that shit because it's not very good. It's a crappy game. Well, yeah, it's better than Street Fighter, but that's not saying much. Street Fighter 1 was pretty awful. Like I say, I can forgive Guilty Gear 1 because it was the first in the series. It's like the prototype. It's fine. I get it. Street Fighter 1, same thing. It's at the time it was a prototype. You know, Street Fighter 2 was the real game. Just like Guilty Gear X was the real game compared to Guilty Gear 1. You know, I didn't like Guilty Gear 1 very much at all. I thought the game was broken as all fuck. You know, instant kills where you basically just spam that shit, which is hilarious. It's just a broken game, you know. Again, it's the first of its kind. It's okay. I get it. I give it a pass. You know, I don't mind it. I won't play it though. But when X came out, you know, I loved X so much. Then when XX came out, I was even more in love. And then Xrd came out, I was even more in love. I was like, oh my god, my love keeps coming back for this game. It keeps surprising me. And then Strive, that love went out the door. That love went out the door. Strive just said fuck it and we're done. We're done with the OG fans. We care about the new generation. We don't give a shit about you guys. We're willing to toss you guys to get new fans, to quote unquote save the franchise, because money. We need to make money. So yeah, they did that. I'll give them that. If they wanted their whole goal was to make a lot of money, they definitely did it. That's for sure. But you know, when people say, "Oh, he brought everyone together," no, he didn't. That is such a lie. He definitely caused some dissent among the ranks. Daisuke's vision was not perfect. I understand his intent, but I don't think his vision was perfect like people were saying it was. And people need to stop like saying that bullshit. Like, well, everybody says it's the best, you know, so it's perfect. You know, you're just one of the few that just can't accept how great it is. I'm like, I love how they always say I'm like one of the few. Like, I'm like one of the 10 people that think Strive's a bad game. I'm like, yes, I'm one of the only 10 people that says Strive's a bad game. I'm the only person in the world that thinks Strive is bad. Like, I would love to see the army of people that would beg to differ and be like looking at them like, you're a fucking idiot, dude. Ogawa, man. Ogawa doesn't even give a fuck about Strive. Ogawa doesn't care. I don't blame him either. Ogawa's done with Guilty Gear, man. He gave up on that shit. Same thing with Teresa, man. Teresa's the same way, and Teresa has the same SharePoint viewpoint I have. People give Teresa shit. Well, you're just a fucking has-been. I'm like, he's a has-been Zerd player, so he doesn't know shit about Guilty Gear. I'm like, oh man, fuck you. Like, fuck you. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, I see the bad-mouthing that those people get. Because they're just, oh, you're just has-beens. You don't know shit about the game. You know, you're just mad because all the good players are the ones dominating. I'm like, you know, it's always that, what? Like, I hate when the Guilty Gear Strive people, especially the ones that don't play Guilty Gear at all, and they make it seem like they know everything about Guilty Gear. Like, they're the ones that, oh, we're the OGs, not you. I'm like, I'm way more than you do, buddy. I know way more than you do. You mean Obama or Ogawa? Who are you talking about? Ogawa, the Guilty Gear Zato God? Or are you talking about just Obama? Who are you talking about? Ogawa or Obama? Because it's some horrible misspelling. Oh yeah, I know. And like I said, I still love it when people were like the Jacko Booty meme. I was like, Jacko Booty was that 2015 called. Jacko Booty was a thing, you know, 7 years ago. I think that's when Rev came out. I think it was 2015 or 2016. I think it was 2015 in arcades. Yeah, Jacko Booty was. He looked stupid, man. Like thinking like, oh, Jacko Booty's so fucking lit. This shit, oh man, this is the OG right here. I'm like, You know, I'm like, wow, guys didn't say shit when Jacko Booty was when Exert was around. But now that you guys, because Strive, you're so woke. Oh yeah, I know. Obama, I know, dropped it. Ogawa dropped it. I dropped it. Fucking what's his name? I'm just surprised people like Fab and Hotashi don't drop it. You know, they still think it's amazing. I'm like, yeah, no, no, just no. But yeah, it's one of those things of, I don't know Guilty Gear anymore, so it's one of those I don't give a fuck about the franchise anymore. I only care about the older games, and I only care if they go back to the roots and or put things more into on track with what Guilty Gear should be. Oh yeah, I see how Viking players play. It's pretty pathetic. Like how a majority of them play, it's like really fucking boring how they play. And it's just like, yep, this is what the majority thinks biking's all about. They think, oh man, this is core biking. This is the real deal right here. I'm like, what? It's like, no. Biking used to be a different character. Biking was crazy back in the day, man. Biking was scary. Like in XX, like Accent Core Plus, Biking was scary, dude. Holy shit, her counters, fucking scary. Yeah, because that's all they know how to do. They think that's the whole strategy is jump hard slash tatami map. Jump hard slash tatami map slash hard slash chain. Or slash hard slash tatami map. But yeah, jump tatami mat, jump hard slash. That's all they do. And the occasional tether. But that's all they can but also at the same time, that's all you can do. Because the game is so limited. What else are you supposed to do? The parry is not a good offensive tool. You have to and it's only active, I think 3 or 4 frames. It's ridiculous how strict it is. It's active starting frame 1. I think it lasts 3 frames. It's really strict. And you have a 14 frame recovery, which is ouch, that's bad. That's really bad. So if you miss your parry, you're fucked. Yeah, that's honestly all it is. It's that's all you can do. What else can you do? You do. It's there's not much to it. There's really not much to it. So yeah, all they did was just fucking import Zerd's model, just touch it up. That's all they did. I think they gave her 4 new animations. That was it. Everything else is old animations. It's the same animation she had from Zerd. They're just touched up a little bit. Changed a couple colors here and there. Her tatami mat's a new animation. Or her ducking low kick, ducking low punch, and ducking slash are all new animations. And then she has her gun super. And of course her counter that's new animation because it's not a parry anymore. It's a reversal. So she's got technically 6 new animations. That's it. Everything else is recycled. She's just recycled like Jacko. Jacko only had a few new animations too. Most of Jacko's animations were just reused from Exert. Everybody else got redrawn except those characters. Everybody else in the entire game except Jacko and Viking got redrawn. They're the only 2 characters that got their models imported from Exert. Everybody else was completely remodeled from the ground up. So, and they're probably going to do the same thing with Slayer, the same thing with Jam. They're just gonna use the same models to save time. They don't have to touch really anything up. They're not gonna give them new redesigns, no nothing. They're gonna use the same moves. They'll probably modify a couple frames here and there. That's all they're gonna do. It's a lot less work. But yeah, I'm just tired of people like defending Strive like it's the holy grail of fighters. Like, oh, you haven't seen perfection until you've seen Strive. I'm like, oh boy, yeah, perfection looks pretty boring. See, like I said, you get these people like going back and forth like Hazy Days is a fucking kiss ass on Strive. He needs to shut up with that shit. You know, BD actually, I agree with him on some points. Like he says some good things about Strive that I do agree with him. Like, yeah, Viking's Tether is a unique mechanic. It's really easy to play. I mean, I don't consider that. Like, I guess it's a plus from a selling point. But I agree with those things. But then he goes into like more reasonable territory where it's like he likes Strive, but he also can see why people don't like it, and he can give justification why it's bad. That's I can at least like, respect him, where he can just be like, hey, Strive has some good things, but there's a lot of bad things about it too. So he's like what he says right here. Strive, in his opinion, was like Street Fighter V. It was like a new attempt to get the newcomers in, and he's right. It's like Street Fighter V. It's like Street Fighter V. He's absolutely right. Strive is like Street Fighter V. He's absolutely right. He said the reason why the game worked and it didn't. Look, there's more didn't work than worked. Strive is the biggest Guilty Gear so far and probably will be the new title of the Guilty Gear series launches. This can all be said about any new fighting game launching today compared to the iteration before, the latest one with the growth of gaming in general and esports. Tournaments being a bit more common, shedding some light on the niche genre. Heck, the reason I started playing fighting games with tournaments is because of 14, KOF 13, and Street Fighter 4. And then he puts, it didn't work because Strive didn't try hard enough to keep new players playing their game. Strive attracted many new players with stunning graphics and a great netcode, but there's such a big list of flaws that could have been thought of more often to make the game as a product more easy and enjoyable to use. You can't say that the features this game offer were that well thought out or great. If you do, then you're in denial and didn't give it much thought. This sadly indirectly keeps players away from playing and enjoying Strive as much as they could. Secondly, I personally like to add to the inputs, reversal time and buffer time moves is not exactly beginner friendly. He's right. And perhaps not something that's desirable at all. One thing our system was great was marketing. They marketed the game towards the newcomers, invited the newcomers to play the series. And I personally think that Strive could have been done much better if they looked objectively at what a newcomer is and what they needed. So yeah, at least he admits it. Like, the only thing that they did good with its marketing, netcode, graphics, music, all that. Like the paint, the coat of paint was amazing. They made it look shiny, but they gave no depth. The game has no depth. That's why a lot of people are giving up on the game, or there's people that the veterans have nothing to really chew. They have nothing to chew on, so it gets boring. So it's great for people that just want to play it like ultra casually and not put any effort into it. They're loving it because he's appeasing those people. So and then look and then he says something, and I agree with this too. I honestly don't want to look back at older iterations of Guilty Gear franchise because I personally think that each game should be valued for what it is outside of the franchise. And my opinions come from objectively looking and being frustrated by things in Strive only. Not the way our system mechanics changes compared to older Guilty Gear games, but simply how do I feel about Guilty Gear Strive and what it has to offer. Yeah, I shouldn't have to look back at older games and want to play those older games instead. That should not be happening. It should be, I played Guilty Gear Xrd, I loved it, and then Strive should have been the next evolution where it's like, it's different, but damn, it's good. You know, that's what I wanted. And that's Strive did not deliver in that regard. So trust me, I could say I obviously am emotionally invested, and I wish Strive could have been better. See, at least this guy's honest. You know, he likes Strive, but even he's disappointed. But it could still become better, just like Street Fighter V is better than it was at launch. And people also should be given the chance to ventilate their frustration about a game that they had high expectations for and shouldn't be instantly deemed toxic or ignorant. See, and he's right, because we get demonized for questioning Strive's and gameplay, its integrity. Like, oh, you're a fucking moron. You don't know shit. You need to shut the fuck up. It's an amazing game. You're just bad at it. Like, they just shut you down. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Don't speak your voice, because if you speak your voice, you're the enemy. So, what's up, Sora? How you doing? So personally, I don't think I'm considered part of the vocal minority because perhaps, but I do belong in that group, even though I speak for myself without being corrected to any other media social group. But no matter how minor the vocal minority, it doesn't always mean they are wrong and should be ignored, even if they are wrong. And it's like, yeah, it's true. You have to let everybody speak out their mind, and you can't just shut them down and say, hey, these guys are idiots. They don't know shit. Don't let them talk. Like, just shut them up and act like they're not there. It's like, it's like, wow, dude, this is so bad. It's like, you know, it's like, yeah, it's like, but the people like this, like dumbasses like Hazy Days, you know, make it seem like their argument is you're a fucking moron. You don't know shit about the game. You're just saying shit because you're just mad at the game because it's not what you want. It's like, see, you can't even agree with Guilty Gear. What? Like, what the fuck? Like, and then they're saying Exerd's the bastard child. Exerd was the bastard child? What the fuck? What are you smoking? Like, holy crap, look at these statements. It's like, where are you getting this? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's most of the people. They're on an attack rampage. Whenever I post anything on Strive, these guys come after me, dude. They burn me at the stake, man. They're like, you're a fucking moron. You're so bad at the game. You don't know shit. You need to stop talking. You don't know anything. Like, you're bad at fighting games. I'm like, wow. It's just like, I'm like, okay, whatever, man. Sure, whatever. Go fuck yourself. You know, it's like, you can't even, like, open your mouth because people will just burn you at the stake. The only thing is, I will say, like, Strive is easier to understand. That I agree with. It is way easier. Hello? Okay. Okay. Okay, no problem. Alright, later. Sorry about that. That was my roommate. I'm gonna have to answer a phone call in about a minute. So yeah, let him in the complex. But yeah, like I said, Strive is easier to understand. Personally, I think Strive is harder to play with execution because it's harder to connect things in Strive than it is in other games. I personally think Exerd had easier execution than Strive. It's just Exerd had more mechanics, a lot more. Because people interpret it more mechanics as convoluted. It's too convoluted because there's too many mechanics. So majority of people hate that. They're like, okay, I hate too many mechanics. Dumb it down because I don't understand it. I'm like, well, okay. You know, to me, that's just a piss excuse that you don't want to learn. And you know, if you don't like it, that's fine. You can just sit there. I don't like it. I don't like it's too complex, and yeah, then don't play it. But I think the game being compromised to those people that don't want to learn the complex games. Yeah, see another guy. Bro, it's a dude right above your post who said the same damn thing I said. Another guy would agree with him, and yet we were arguing earlier and I was wrong. Plenty of my actual friends expressed the same thing about the game because it's. Sorry about that. Hold on. But yeah, it's just crazy, man. Just like people, they figure because the majority says it's very positive, so obviously they're right and you're wrong. So it's like, okay, so the majority means the. It's like saying the majority of people are smart in this world. It's like literally say, well, because we have a hive mindset, that means the majority are smart in this world. So because the 85, 89% or 90% of the community says Guilty Gear Strive is the best Guilty Gear in the series. So that must mean that's factual, even though the majority of the players are not Guilty Gear players. So what? You know what I mean? Now, if you brought back 90, now if you said 90% of the old school players say they love it, and I'd be like, I wouldn't agree with them, but that's different. But literally, they're saying, well, 90% of everybody loves this game, so obviously they know what they're talking about. No, no, no. The demographic they targeted is not our demographic. It's a completely different demographic. And there's more of those people. Yeah, it does. Like, I tell people that all the time. Like, the Gatling system is horrible. The Gatling system is awful. I hate the Gatling system in this game. It's fucking garbage. It feels like shit. Yeah, it's like people, again, get these one or two people that are just like, they say we're the toxic ones. We're the ones that don't know shit. It's like, no, you're being actually more toxic because you're firing everyone down that disagrees with is a good game. So anybody that says Strive is a bad game and this is why, they're fucking stupid. So it's like, so aren't you being the toxic one? Just because I'm part of the minority does not make me toxic. I mean, so, on the doorstep, my camera, so let it sit all right. Okay, no problem. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like I said, there's a lot of shit in the game. The exploration in the game felt really amazing, like in the previous games. Like that's one thing I've liked about Exerd and XX so much because there was so much to find. The depth was crazy what you can find, and the level of depth you find even to this day is insane compared to Strive. Strive's depth is not very deep. Like people are gonna figure out the shit. You just make a lot of stuff harder to do because of how limited things are. So you artificially make the game harder by making things more difficult to execute. But they're easier to it's like you make the it's like think of it this way. Instead of memorizing a 9-digit combination lock that's easy to put in, you instead now you made it a 3-digit combination lock, but you made it really hard to turn the lock. Or made it overly precise. So now you made that easy task hard to do because of execution. That's why I say Xrd is actually easier to play because Xrd's execution barrier is lower than Strive. It's just the amount of shit you can do in Strive. I mean, in Xrd is crazy. There's so much you have to know in Guilty Gear Xrd to understand it at a very fundamental level. Whereas Strive, you don't have to understand too much. There's way less you have to understand. Probably a third of the amount that you have to understand. So things are more simplified. Things are more streamlined. So people understand because they don't. It's like teaching somebody algebra versus calculus. You look like, I don't want to learn calculus. I want to learn algebra. I'm like, okay, that's fine. If you want to go learn algebra, that's cool. Some people want to learn calculus, though. So it's like you dumb down the teaching of math. So now it's just, well, now the high level is algebra now. That's all there is. It's just algebra. There's nothing beyond that. So you dumb the game down. You've made the ceiling lower as a result. So there's less to aspire towards. There's less to aim for. So to me, it's like, why even bother put my energy into it? There's nothing to put my energy into. You give me nothing to like get excited over. And that's what Strive does. Strive just doesn't give me any excitement. I watched. Speaking of Strive, I watched when a guy I know, his name's Clever Fox Soul. He was playing Strive the other day, and I was watching him, and he was saying the same thing. And I'm glad he's at least honest, because me and him have some tension a little bit because of what I said to one of his friends, and I'm not gonna deny it. It happened. It's whatever. It's happened. I moved on. I said it. Basically, I don't get along with somebody he's friends with. So, anyway, moving on. He was the same way. He was playing Strive. He's like, God, this fucking game. I hate this fucking game. And he goes back to playing Xrd, and I'm like, it's sad that you have to run back to an old game just to get that level of depth that you're looking for in a fighting game. You have to go back to the past. So it's just like, oh man, dude, that kind of sucks. You have to go back in the past. You figure the future would be getting more, deeper, there's more complexity, there's more options, there's just more in the future. Things with games would improve. The experiences would get better instead of getting worse. And the fact that we have to run back to old games to get those experiences, kind of shitty. Because, I like looking forward to the future. I actually do. I actually enjoy looking forward to future games to see what people can come up with or taking things to the next level. I love that as a gamer. Like, oh my god, that's like the most exciting thing ever. But it has not been that way in so long with a lot of games. We're not seeing major levels of advancement. We're seeing a lot of stagnation. We're seeing a lot of regression. That's what we're seeing now. With a lot of games. There are some that do go above and beyond. Like, I thought Genshin Impact was definitely the next level for gacha games. I could see the evolution. There's another game coming out. I think it's Seven Deadly Sins. That looks fucking incredible. I don't know if it's a gacha game, but it's an online. I think it's an online single player MMO or something like that. Co-op game, but it looks amazing. I was like, holy shit. It looks like Genshin on crack. It's, again, the next level. I'm looking for that as a gamer. But I don't see that with a lot of games that I used to play. You're just seeing steps back, like Melty Blood Type Lumina. It has good ideas, it's just the execution was so bad. It's just like, man, you had some good ideas, but you fucked it up. Because we have to appeal to the casuals. We have to appeal to the majority. We have to appeal to simplification because we need to make sure that we get those millions. Because we got to target the audience that doesn't give a shit about fighting games. Or plays games that wants to be, this needs to be like Street Fighter 5 or Strive, or it needs to be like, what's that other fighting game? Fantasy Strike. And it's like, so they compromise the game's identity to get those majority of players into their game, because they're like, oh, we already got the loyalists, the ones that love our games, the older titles, but they're not targeting us. They're targeting new, fresh blood where there's tons of money to be had. That's what they care about. They're willing to dump their fan base to appease to those people. It's like, well, yeah, I agree. I agree. A lot of old, newer gen Pokemon titles are awful. I don't play Pokemon, so I'm not the expert on Pokemon. I'm not the guy to ask. So you're talking to the wrong guy. I don't know shit about Pokemon, and I don't care about Pokemon. But yeah, I can see where they're like, oh man, play the older games. They're way better. Or yeah, or fan made hacks are actually way better than the real stuff, because it's made with passion. It's made with people that have good knowledge of the games, actually know what's up. Or these new games that they bring out, they're just either shameless cash grabs, or they're just dumbed down versions, or just the same shit with no advancements. There's no improvements. There's nothing. It's just copy paste and reduce what's in the game and then sell them as microtransactions, because that's how you do it. But yeah, ultimately though, yeah, I hate the fact that we're just seeing so much stagnation and regression in games. We are. We're not seeing the next level shit. We're not seeing games that really take it to a 10 or take it to an 11. We don't see that. Aside visuals, I mean, visuals only do go so far though. A lot of games have good visuals and they don't have very good gameplay. They just look good. There's a lot of games like that. AAA titles especially. I mean, shit, there's tons of games like that. Like anime. I don't like anime arena fighters. I think most of them are just copy paste. They all look good. They have all the voice acting and the music, and it looks so incredibly faithful to the anime. But then you look at the gameplay, it's all the same. All the same. All play the same. Namco Bandai just churns them out like butter. Oh, cool. Let's insert anime name. Use the same template. Don't change shit. I'm like, wow, it's so obvious. And it's just sickening, Like, fuck these games. There's nothing in these fucking things. It's no different than what they did with Dynasty Warriors. They were just copy pasting, getting stagnant, and then regressing the games, and nothing changes. It's like, oh, it's just more of the same and less of it, because they don't want to put in the effort. Metroidvanias have actually been pretty good. I'll give it that. I don't think Metroidvanias have been getting stale, because there's a lot of good Metroidvania games out there. I played a lot of Metroidvania games. There's a lot of good ones. Excellent, excellent games. They're very challenging. They're very fun. They're interesting. Music's really good. Art direction's really good. Got a varying art style. It's very mechanically sound. I don't feel Metroidvania games. Yeah, I think they've been evolving. I think Metroidvania games are not de-evolving. I agree. I think they've been evolving. And I've been enjoying a lot of them. It's definitely a genre that I don't think it's been in a bad rap right now. Sports games have been regressing like a motherfucker. Fighting games have been regressing like a motherfucker. First-person shooters have been getting stale. Adventure games can be hit and miss. I've seen some good ones. I've seen some bad ones. Puzzle games have been really good. I heard that one's like one of the few arena fighters that's actually decent. It's a step above, I guess, the other anime fighters, but not really that much. It's like they would probably say it's the best anime fighter you're gonna get for. So, I don't know. I don't care for arena fighters, so I wouldn't give it a chance anyway. I heard a lot of people saying Kogan is really short, though. I said a lot of people are not happy how short it is. It's like 4 or 5 hours. It's stupid short. I haven't got it yet. I'm gonna try it out. But yeah, a lot of people are saying it's really fucking short. I have it on my list still. Yeah, see, look at the reviews. It's already mixed. That's not good. That's no good. I mean, I'd like to see how good it feels. I mean, honestly, I want it to feel good. And I don't mind losing. What the fuck is this? Oh god, DLC. Really? Really? Man. And you don't have to play with it, but it's cool you got different characters you can play as. Yeah, I'm not gonna fuck the DLC, I'm not paying for that shit. $8 for a fucking character. Like, ouch. That's expensive. Long platformer is like, I'd say 15, 20 hours. I'm not going to spend 30, 25 bucks on this game. It's too much. I would pay 20 max, but even then, I was like, DLC should have been included for free. I charged 30 bucks with the DLC, all of it. You know, I respect that more of it. When I saw $8 per character just to play the game as that character, that's a lot of money. It's not like a fighting game. That's different. But with a game like this, it's like, it's. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll have its own dialogue, I guess, but it's just going to be ultimately just playing the same levels. You're not even playing unique levels. You're just playing the same levels as those characters. So it's like, It's just, to me, it's just a color swap. That's all it is. But yeah. But yeah, with fighting games, dude, it's just, I'm just sick of the bullshit. I really am. I'm sick of the way fighting games are now. I really am. I'm so jaded with them now. It's like, I can't say anything nice about them outside of rollback. It's like there's nothing. I have no passion or interest in fighting games right now because of how things are going. Like, I'm literally just empty inside. I have no desire, no motivation to play them. I have no interest to play them because of the way the games are going. And I don't want to. And then I don't want to have to keep playing old games all the time. Like, why do I gotta play old games to get that feeling? I shouldn't have to do that. You know, games have come so far and evolved so much, and then just seeing stagnation and de-evolution of games is just pathetic. Perfect. I mean, look at Battlefield 2042. How much of a joke that game is. The game is the biggest joke in the series. Like, this is the future of this series. This fucking game. This game is trash. And then you get those millions of, oh, this is pretty good. You know, because they think that's like the standard. And then you look at the gameplay and like how they play the game. Like, it's literally just people exploiting glitches and just spamming hovercrafts. Like, hovercrafts are the strongest weapon in the game. You can literally, they'll destroy tanks, helicopters, and survive. You can literally run into tanks with a hovercraft and kill it. Because they have more armor on a hovercraft than a tank. I'm like, that makes no fucking sense. And then you can fly with them too. I was like, why do hovercrafts fly? They're not meant for. They don't fly in the air. People just jumping across the map with a hovercraft. It's just, I'm going to fly across the screen just because I can. And then we can just instantly spawn them wherever we want them and just spam them on bases so enemies can't get out. People can't get out to spawn. I'm like, this is terrible. Like, holy shit. This is what people think Battlefield is? Holy crap, man. Like, but, you know, it's all the trolls and all the people that don't know shit about Battlefield they're the ones that, oh, it's fine. You know, it's fine. You know, you're just bad at the game just because I'm so good at it. That's how I feel like the Strive community is. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. You know, it looks fine. The interface is fine. You're just bad at it. You know, it's like... That's why I can't have a conversation with these people. They're not reasonable at all. You know, at least I'll hear them out, but they just go on like their little sprees about how, you know, the game is like, oh, well, if you don't agree with the majority, you're an idiot. So, because everybody else said it's perfect and great, and there's nothing wrong with it, then that means you're wrong. So you must be dumb. You must be uneducated. You must be a game person that doesn't know how to play video games. Be right back one moment. It's back. Get something. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think they're going to change anything with Strive. So I have a feeling it's going to just be the same game, just with more characters. That's all you're going to see. You're just going to see regression and just see the series stay stagnant. Just like, oh, it's what it should be. We're just going to keep it the same and not change anything. Because that's what the majority wants. They don't want to see evolution. They don't want that. They want it to stay samey. They don't want to see things taken to the next level. People like a lot of people think because you're old fashioned that you're afraid of change. I actually like change. Change is good. But I don't there it doesn't mean I don't like every version of change. Some things that change I don't like. I don't think they're good. But just sit there and say I just want everything to be the same all the time. No, I don't want that. That's stagnation. Literally, if they just brought out, if Strive played exactly like Exerd, and they didn't change anything, and they just added more characters, I'd be like, okay, that's lazy. I wouldn't want that. But even, let's say they did bring out another one, and they say, hey, we added force break moves, we put slash back in, or something like that, and we added another new mechanic, or something like that. Then we fine-tune things even more. I would say, hey, that's an evolution. Like I said, the only thing Strive evolved in was the roaming cancels. That is all. Nothing more. Nothing else in Strive evolved. Aside roaming cancels, the only thing. Roman cancels went 2 steps forward. Everything else went 2 steps backwards. But you try to tell people that, and they're just like, oh, you just don't know. Here's a bitter old man that doesn't like change and just want to exert over again. I'm like, that's not what I don't want that. But I definitely don't want this either. I don't want Strive. But yeah, Sora and Samurai. It just sucks. I mean, again, I would like to be proven wrong, and I hope our system works throws the biggest wrench into the game and just shakes it up like I've never seen it before. That would make me happy. I would love to be proven wrong. You mean like bullet hells? Bullet hells kind of stayed. Bullet hells are kind of just the same. Shoot 'em ups are about the same. They look better. Mechanically, not too much change. They're kind of the same. They don't regress. They don't regress. I don't think there's too much you can evolve with those type of games. I mean, outside of you have when you die, you instant spawn as opposed to starting the whole level over. And I mean, some type of different varying bullet patterns or weapon choices using like an option shot, a super shot, a bomb. It's pretty much staple stuff. Not too much. Most. I'm fine with shooters. They kind of do their thing. They're just, but yeah, I wouldn't say they've evolved really any great amount. I think the last evolution was traditional shooters into bullet hells. Bullet hells definitely were an evolution of those games, but we haven't evolved past bullet hells. I think bullet hells have kind of now seeing bullet hell game mechanics get put into other genres. That's an evolution. You don't like Sora? You don't like Suguri? Well, are they too hard for you, or well, you don't like them? The acceleration of Suguri is pretty good. I mean, they're arena-based fighters, though. I mean, you play those games, the versus. If that's what you mean, you don't like that, or do you want stage-based shooters? Because Sora's a stage-based shooter with bosses, whereas Acceleration of Suguri, that's a fighting game more. Versus. Well, yeah, I don't want that either. You want them to stay unique. I get it. No, I understand. You don't want everything to become the same. That's like my fear when every fighting game becomes Street Fighter. It's just Street Fighter everything. Let's just make everything play like Street Fighter. But Street Fighter is the only good. It's like Street Fighter is the only good fighting game, so everything needs to play like it. I don't want that. That's fucking terrible. That would ruin fighting games. I would be like, I'm done. If everything plays like Street Fighter, I'm done. I have officially quit. I will sign my resignation on stream. I'll make a piece of paper saying I officially quit all fighting games moving forward. I would not put up with that shit. I was like, well, it's the best fighting game, so everything needs to be it. I'm like, wow, that's pretty ignorant. You know, see some true stagnation at that point. Yeah, I want every game to have an identity. That's the problem. I think Strive compromised its identity. It started dabbing into other games, particularly Street Fighter. It took a lot of cues from Street Fighter. Like, Street Fighter 5 has a heavy influence on Guilty Gear Strive. You can definitely see the Street Fighter influence on that game by a large amount. Pacing, the footsies. I'm just like, why is there footsies in Guilty Gear? Footsies? Like, what the fuck? There's footsies in Street Fighter Guilty Gear? When? I play Guilty Gear and I never fucking did crazy footsies. There's some footsies, not a lot. Mostly a really aggressive pressure. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't want every game to be 1942 or every game to be, you know, Cave Bullet Hell. I don't want every game because then it starts becoming copy paste. It starts becoming stagnant. It starts getting boring. It's nice to have games be their own thing, but I will say when it comes to fighting games, I do tend to gravitate towards anime fighters because I like the option select in anime fighters is much greater than a traditional ground-based fighter. The only ground-based fighter I think has a lot of depth, like a crazy amount of depth, is Tekken. It's probably one of the most in-depth ground-based fighters in the world, hands down. Tekken is insane with how much shit you can do in that game. It almost feels like an anime fighter in a way. It just, you don't do a lot of jumping. If it had jumping and shit, air blocking, that game would be insane. But, yeah, Tekken's like the exception to the rule for me. Because Tekken, I think, has evolved past most ground-based fighters in general. I think Tekken's really reached the next level. Whereas, you know, when it comes to 2D based games, I will always run to anime fighters because, again, the level of depth and level of option select are just way greater than traditional fighters. The fact that mobility, you know, tools are greater. There's usually a lot more systems in place. The pacing is much faster. Yeah, I'd rather take an anime fighter over a ground-based traditional footsie fighter any day of the week. I've kind of gotten tired of ground-based footsie fighters because it's just I don't know, those styles of game don't really interest me very much. I feel like I played them back in the day when they were, you know, when they were the thing, when they were actually, it was an evolution at the time. But now I feel that style of game is just retro. It's very classic. Whereas I think anime fighters were, you know, I want to see something ascend above anime fighters, but we're probably not going to get it. You know, if we could take anime fighters and put it even more on crack, I would like to see that, but I don't think we ever will. I think we're kind of at a peak right now. I don't see it changing. If anything, we're going back to simpler. Everything is going back to simpler. Everything. So we're gonna see more Street Fighter 2, more Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, a lot of that. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo is very prominent in a lot of games. Obviously, perfect example is Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. That game is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Anime Edition. That's all it is. I say the combo's a little bit more nuts in that game because of the juggling. But that game fundamentally is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. It really is. DNF Duel is a step above because of the mobility and the fact that it has a cancel system. There's a lot of anime fighters have a cancel. They usually have like a Roman cancel or a burst cancel move. It's like that seems to be very common with anime fighters. And I do like cancel mechanics because cancel mechanics usually mean potential mix-up game, potential combo extenders, also potential to prevent a fuck up. Well, Melty is Melty. Yeah, Melty is definitely its own thing. Nothing's like Melty Blood. But I still don't like how Melty Blood, Type Lumina, the direction that game went. That game just went in a bad direction. I really don't agree with it. I personally think that game really went stray. And they're not listening to their fans. I think the majority of the fans really, they may not say anything, but I really do believe a majority of the fans are not particularly happy with Melty Blood's direction. I really believe that. I think a lot of them are really unhappy. I posted a couple topics on this on my discussion. And, people, I think a lot of people agree with me. There's a lot of people that feel that way. There's some people that don't. They say, oh, no, it's fine. But then there's a lot of people that are just okay with it. They're complacent. So they're just like, they don't like it, but they just play it because it's Melty Blood. So they kind of just put up with it. So it's like, oh man, I can't do that with a game. I can't force myself to like something. If I don't like something, even if it's a franchise I love, I don't like it. Plain and simple. That's just how it is. I'm not going to pretend I like something just because it's from that franchise or from that company. So I have to like it because it's that brand. It's like, no, you don't. If you don't like it, don't play it. I'm not a loyalist to anything. I don't know. We'll see. Right now the game's on life support. Like really bad life support. You can look at the numbers, it's really dropped. Look at this shit. It went down to 164. Less than 200 people. Less than 200 people. So, game's dead, dude. I knew the game was gonna drop when Alco came out. I said give it a week. A week later, nobody plays it. Nobody's streaming it. There's hardly anybody streaming Melty. I think recently I saw there was like 30 people watching Melty Blood. Like 30? Holy crap, that's terrible. Melty Blood is definitely a pretty dead game. You can look right now. Yeah, there's a whopping 47 people watching this game. That was all. There's 6 people streaming it. 5 of which are nobodies, and one of them is guy has nobody in the room. There is nobody in the room. I'm just like, yeah, this game is fucking dead. Game is like, Jesus, man. Even I think even Central Fiction, yeah, has more people. Yeah, Central Fiction, granted it's only 7 rooms, has more people than that shit. It's like Melty Blood's dead, dude. Melty Blood is just, Strive is tens of thousands. Yeah, 1.4K. There's still a lot of people playing Strive. Still, But like I said, there's a lot of people here that I just don't value their opinion about this game because I think they're kiss asses to it. So people still play the old Call of Duty game if a new one comes out. The old one still gets played, just not as much. Because people eventually move on to the new game because they want to check it out. But yeah, there's still people that still linger around the old games because they can't afford the new game. So obviously they need something to play, so they play last year's game. So. But yeah, that's whatever, man. Like I said, we'll see what happens, but I'm not anticipating anything to happen to Melty Blood until April, the end of April. That's my prediction. We got the Melty Blood update in the middle of January, so I think it's going to be at least 3 months before we see the next update, maybe 4. It could be May. It did say spring 2022. Spring is between March and May, I believe. March, April, May, or April or March through June. It's around there. It's like a 3-month period. So it's like middle of March to like middle of June, I think, or some shit. So we'll probably see Melty Blood get its last update then. We'll probably see like maybe in end of March or like around April we'll see the trailers for the next 2 characters and then see if they actually fundamentally change the game or not. If they do, then hey, we're in for good times, but I really don't think they're going to. I really think that even the creator says he wants the shield to be the main mechanic of the game. So he wants people having that constant RPS all the time. He thinks the game's fun, but a lot of people are saying it's not fun. So, and the problem is he doesn't see it. He thinks it's fun. He's the only person that thinks it's fun, really. Minus a couple other people. So he has to the people just need to vocalize their frustration to him and tell him look, dude, I know you like your game, but yeah, you need to fix it because your game's dying really horribly. No one's playing your fucking game. You should realize that a lot of people stopped playing that game. People dropped that game hard. Melty Blood died very quickly. It only lasted, 2 months? 3, maybe tops? 2 months, it was almost 95% of the community left the game. So, and then it just got progressively worse. Now it's at the all-time low of 150. That is pretty bad. That's worse than most fighters. Unless you're a nobody game. If it's a nobody game, that's decent numbers. But yeah, for a game that's supposed to be one of the lead anime fighters, or just an anime fighter that has somewhat of a presence, it's pretty disappointing. Well, I agree. I think the shielding it's bad the way it is. It's broken. It's broken. It's easy. It's scrubby. It fucks with a lot of pressure game. It fucks. It's just a free mechanic that people abuse. Yeah, and I don't like the shit. I hate Moondrive activation. I think Moondrive activation it needs to be completely gutted. I think Moondrive activation they need to completely get rid of the freezing. I'm sorry, that freeze shit needs to stop. That freeze shit's dumb. I hate the fact that it's like a freeze. It stops the whole game and puts you at an advantage. They need to get rid of Moondrive's freezing. Sorry, it shouldn't be that way. I think it ruins the game. Also, they need to make it where activation's 100% meter. You need a full moon to do it. You should not be able to do it at half moon or you should not be able to do it at half moon or higher. It's just too free. It needs to be full moon only. I think that would be much more balanced. That way people can't abuse it. You get meter too damn fast. That's the problem why people always doing it because it's always up. So it makes it too free. You make it just readily available all the time. So it's really, really broken. I like the mechanic, how it functions. I just don't like how it's unbalanced. Same thing with shielding. Shielding has some interesting properties to it, but it's not. It needs heavy tweaking. There needs to be a lot of modification. It could still be a good mechanic. It's just the way it's implemented is not. It's not properly. It doesn't fit the flow properly for the game. I feel like it dumbs the game down. It makes the game feel more. It feels like it's the go-to button. It's always the go-to button for everything. The only thing parry has to worry about is throws. That's the only thing parry has to be afraid of. Other than that, you never have to really worry about it. The fact that low parry counters mids is retarded. I don't know who thought that was a genius move, but that was stupid. Like, wow. You make parry protect you against everything almost except overheads. That's all. Just low parry. That's the answer. To almost like 80% of the player, 90%. Because not many characters have an overhead. So unless you do an instant overhead jump. But yeah, I feel like stuff like that needs to change. If they could fix all those issues, plus the armor moves being as broken as they are, armor moves can eat up a whole fucking super. They don't have to worry about being challenged at all. They have no set amount of armor. They have infinite armor. I'm just like, this is dumb. Like, this is so dumb. I like moves, like armor moves that have like, a couple frames, a couple armor hits that they can take, like kind of like Juggernaut. That's fine. But when you can literally parry a whole super with just one armor move, that's dumb. That is really dumb. And then on top of that, you can get a conversion off of it. I'm just like, okay, that's really broken, man. Like, fuck, man. People don't have to worry about shit. And the armor moves will eat up low, high, and mid attacks. Doesn't matter what attack you use. Your armor move will eat it. So it's like, wow, I can't even like strategically stop you because you could just abuse this move and I have to respect it. Like, that's the thing. There's like a lot of moves can be abused where you have to always respect it. Always respect it. The opponent never has to respect you because their move is superior to yours. The only thing you can do is you gotta hope you can do the same thing back to them. That's all you can do. Yeah, I would say that. It's like, yeah, it's like having a super Hakumen with super armor all the time. I would say, yeah, that'd be a good way to describe it. Except the follow up moves aren't guaranteed. It's like because you got to do the RPS shit. But yeah, imagine just him being God mode and having infinite parry, and then him having stuff like was it overdrive, like constantly up. And then here comes the pause button because pause button. Fuck that pause button, man. Fuck that pause button. That pause button's so stupid. I hate the pause button in that game. It's so fucking dumb. It is the dumbest. Like I said, pause button, shield, armor moves, and netcode all need to be fixed. Those four things alone would save the game. Like that, I could. I'll also get rid of auto combos. Get rid of auto combos. Please get rid of them. Please take them out or limit them to just button A. I would be okay with that. Please do that. If they put those 5 changes, that game would do so much better. That game would be really, really fun. I'd go back and play it. I would. They fix those 5 crucial things about the game. I would go back and play Melty Blood Type Lumina. But they won't. I don't think they will. They're just gonna give you 2 more characters and they're gonna say, hey, we're done with the game. We're moving on to another project. That's exactly what they're gonna say. They're not going to do anything new. If anything, they maybe in the next iteration they might change the game mechanics like heavily. They might say we're just gonna keep it for this game because we don't want to change anything because it's already done. Maybe when they make an updated version of the game, maybe they'll go ahead and really fuck with the game mechanics to really tweak it up more. I could potentially see them doing that if they make another Melty Blood, like a sequel, like a like a reload or something like that. Melty Blood, Type Lumina extra or something like that. I could see them maybe adding, like 4 more characters and then saying, hey, we're changing up the gameplay heavily so people will, it'd be more a little bit more faithful to the older games, but at the same time an evolution where it feels more technical. But like I said, there's ways to fix it. You think so? For fucking Melty Blood? High level play doesn't look that high because of the fucking RPS. You see the RPS constantly in high level play. I feel, and then you see Moondrive activation all the time. They abuse both of those moves like a lot in high level play. So it's like it's coming all the time. You're gonna see someone doing either RPS shield or fucking Moondrive. Wake up Moondrive or Moondrive activation to counter. That's what you're gonna see, a lot of that shit. And I feel like the mechanics overshadow the game so hard where it's just like fucking hell. But we'll see. I'm not holding my breath on it. OZGB. I don't know. So we'll see. I mean, we got a ways to wait. So right now, my next game is Persona 4 Ultimax. Even though it's an older game, I do want to play it again. I do miss that game. I haven't played that game in 8 years. Well, like 7 years. Oh, I do. I agree. Like I said, I think Moondrive should be full bar, only full. You need a full moon to do it. They also need to nerf how fast you gain meter from it. Like you gain meter for the Moondrive. I think you gain meter way too fast. It's like really busted how fast you gain it. So it just makes moon drive activations even more frequent. So they need to tone that down. They need to make the moon drive 100%. They need to modify the pause button. It needs to not be like that. It needs to be something else. It needs to be like a quick activation where it doesn't like fuck with the game's pacing. Where basically stop what you're doing. I can see what you're gonna do, and I'm gonna counter it. I'm just like, that shit sucks. That shit sucks, man. That's what I mean. You have to make it not so frequent. You need to make it where it's not something it's a go-to button all the time, but also at the same time, don't make it so overly powerful. Make it strong, but don't make it broken. It's broken right now. It's a broken move. It's a broken mechanic. Like I said, they got to figure out something to change it. There's got to be something they can do. It can be remedied. It's just I don't know if they're going to. Like I said, the developers might want to. The developers might say, "No, we're not changing anything. We're keeping it the same, and this is the end product. We're not. It is. This is the end of the game." I have a feeling because everybody quit the game for the most part, they're just gonna end. They're just gonna bring out the DLC, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, we're done. We're done with this game. We are not going to make any more content for it. We are finished." I'm gonna bet $100 on that. That's what you're guys gonna hear in April or May when they release the final DLC. They're gonna make a public announcement going, "Hey, we're done with this game. We're not making any more content for it. Thank you for thank you for supporting us, but yeah, we're moving on to our next project." Yeah, maybe a slight slowdown be okay. Be okay. But there's got to be something they can do. It's just the pause button is just too strong. It's way too strong. So there's got to be something they can do. I'm positive they do. We'll see. But anywho's, Ozzy, Sora, Samurai, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go to bed. I need to get some sleep. I want to get 8 hours sleep tonight. Yeah, I know. We'll see what happens, but we'll keep. I mean, all we can do is just hope they fix something. I'm not holding my breath though. So we'll see what happens. Don't hold your breath. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Actually, I won't be back tomorrow. Probably be back Friday. So I'm not going to stream tomorrow, and I probably won't stream the day after either. Probably just going to be streaming Friday, then Saturday. Friday is going to be mostly Genshin. I might play that other game, that Kogan game. And Saturday, I don't know. We'll figure out something. I don't know yet. So, but anyways, you guys have a good one. I will see you guys later. Take care. Have a good night. Peace out.